If you're finding it challenging to create a great cover, or you're wanting to know how to bring together elements for a really good cover design, then this video is going to be very helpful for you. My name is Romney, and thank you very much for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you haven't been to this channel before, it's all about creating, building, and scaling your self-publishing business, and I'm also the creator of the Publishing Accelerator for low and no content publishers. It's a course that shows you everything you need to know. So in this video, I'm going to be going through a number of different things that'll help you design both the front cover and the back cover, to save it and then to be able to load it up to KDP. Now remember, if you do like these videos, to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware of more videos that I create. So let's jump into this video now, and I'm going to show you how to create your cover front and back on Canva. Now I'm going to show you through some of the ways that you can create your cover using Canva. Now you can use Canva for free, or you can use the Pro version of Canva. I have the Pro version, so there are going to be elements that I'm going to be using that are only available when you have the Pro subscription, but you can absolutely use the free version of Canva from canva.com to create your covers for KDP or many other books that you wish to upload onto many platforms around the world for publishing. What I'm going to do now is create the cover. Now there are two ways you can do it. You can have create just the front cover by itself and then the back cover and then bring it together, or you can create them both on the one Canva document. So if we're going to be doing it by individual pages, I'll just show you the front cover. So what we do is go create a design. We would then go to custom. We would make sure this is in inches. We're going to do an 8.5 by 11 inch cover, and we create the design. If you wanted to have both the front and back as a creation, what you do is go to KDP cover calculator, and I'll leave the links below. What you would do is then fill in all the details, which I've done that already. So it's all just drop down boxes, and you select those. You then calculate the dimensions. Now this will come up here. If you wanted to do the front and back cover, what you would then do is add those in this section here. So it'd be 17.52 by 11.25. We create a design, and then that would bring up the front and back. What you could also do is download the template. Now when you download the template, it'll bring you up this section right here, and then you would upload that. And so I'll quickly show you what that looks like in a moment. So the template looks like this. What you could do is either save it, or I just like to go Control Print Screen. Then I would do is go back to my design, which is just here, and I would go Control V. Then I would trim this just like this, and I would make sure this is positioned center and middle, just making sure that's all correct like that. Then I simply stretch it to the corners. It may not be absolutely perfect, but it's going to be very, very close, just like that. And that means that you need to make sure that all your illustrations are in that area. Now, if you don't really want to see this background, you can simply go to the transparency and reduce that and create your design, so then you know where all the elements are. Then at the end, you just delete that template, so that's no longer there. And then you can save it, you download it as a PDF print file, and that will give you the front and back. Anyway, let's go back to our cover design, because I'm just going to quickly show you some elements of how to create some cover designs using Canva and using some of the templates that are available. And we're just going to use a camping theme, so we might call it the Camping Explorer, and it might be a camping journal to track your camping trips with family members. So what we would do to go templates, if we just do camping, then it gives us a few different templates. Now with Canva, you are allowed to use the templates, but you need to modify them. You can't just use the template and say, look, I want to use that one, and then upload it and save it as your book cover. You're not allowed to do that, but what you can do is use elements of it. So what I would normally do is scroll down, see if there's anything that stands out to me. So let's have a quick little look. We might use maybe this design, or even this design here. So let's use this design, and let's call it Camping Explorer. Then what you can do is use other elements from other templates as well, and you can change the colors if they're not suitable to what your book's going to be. So you might think that these colors are good, or you might think that you like other colors. Now, if there's other elements on any of these templates you wish to use, I normally just add the page. Then if you like that border, for example, you can copy that, and then you can use the border, and then you can change the color. So you can use elements from within the book to change the cover elements if that's what you like, and you can stretch it a little bit as well. And if you do like the background color as well, well, that's something else you can add. You might like to push it on the side there. You have a look at the color there. Now you can copy the whole thing and click on there, and then that will bring up the color, I mean, just right there. And there might be colors that they've used here, which are also good. So what we could do if we want to change, we send that to the back, and we have a look at this color just here. And we might like to use the green. That might be a way of making it stand out. And you can also check out other design parts of this too that you might like. There might be this little flame here. You can bring that up as well. And you might like to get rid of, say, what we might do is we can get rid of this for the moment. Bring this up here. Make that like that. What we do is we go position, we'd center it, and you might like to keep this, you might like to get rid of it. That is completely up to you with your design. And we also need to add the subtitle as well. There might be different font types that you can use, so you have a look on here and see if there's different font types that might be suitable. What I might do is get rid of this page now, and what we're going to do is add that subtitle. There might be different fonts that stand out to you, but it's also important to make sure you have consistency with your fonts when you're doing your cover designs. You don't want to have too many different ones. Now, that writing there looks pretty good. I'll have to find out what writing that is. So we click on it like this, and what we do is, let's have a look. That's okay. So what we could do is we could actually almost use, let's copy that, and then you can, if you wanted to separate these, you ungroup them. Therefore, you can move individual ones around as well. So what we might do is, oops, we're going to get rid of that one, and we might get rid of that one. But I do like how this border here, we're just going to make sure we don't lose that with the white writing, and we might call it journal, and we might like to add a dot each side. So we go elements, and we might go our circle, and what we do is bring this down, that. Now that border may or may not suit what we want. I'm not sure if it does. It doesn't probably quite suit exactly what we want, but there might be other elements that you can find that are going to be suitable. So that this color, we'll have to find out if that might be a white, but what we might do is go there. Let's have a look and see. That's back to white again. Or we can keep the same color. There might be elements here that we might like. So we just sort of test them. Go copy. And we could also, I might adjust this and see whether we can make some changes to this one. So I'll just fast forward this section. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just putting those final touches like a border around it. So what I would then do is bring it like this. You can probably make it a bit thinner, just like this. What we might do is actually bring it back down behind it. So we're going to go for that brown. And you can either leave it there, you can send this to the back. And these elements here, you might want to increase the transparency on them as well. So that goes up to 85. We do the same for this side, sorry. And if you wanted to position this. Okay, so we've sort of got our trees and everything there. And we might change that color as well to that color just right there. And there we have our cover. Now, it's not the perfect cover by any stretch, but what I wanted to do is just show you the elements that you can use to create your covers. Now, you might also want to have your name, the author name as well. Importantly, we need to ensure that this fits into our cover design. So what I could potentially do is save this. So we want to make sure we get rid of this one. And if you want to do a back cover, then you could do two things. You could create another template and then create it, or you could copy this and use elements from it as well for your front cover, or your back cover. Now what I might do is transfer this across to our template here just to show you how that might work as well. So let's quickly do that. So I would go download, I would save as a PNG, so I'd download it, because we want to say this is an image so we can actually save it onto that template. So I will now save this image, and we're going to put it into a folder, so I'll do that now. And to get my picture onto this, so what we could also do is bring that back up a little bit so we can actually see it. I'd go to uploads and I'd upload the media, and we're going to bring that up now. So what I've now done is just uploaded media, and I've uploaded my cover. So then all I need to do is drag it all the way down to the bottom, all the way to the top, bring this across, and then that will sit where on to. So if I wanted to just check that, making sure that I'm not going to be going over, so I just want to check each bit as well. You can always just bring it down like that, and then that will fit perfectly to where we want. And you do the same for the back cover. If you wanted to have a spine, you could also do that as well, and you could create that. You just go to elements, and you can have whatever color you wanted to and create your spine. So you just narrow it, and you could then add your writing in the spine as well. Now, one other thing you might want to do is make sure you've got consistency with the color. So this color here, we would go here and just click on that, find out what color that is. See it's there. We would then copy that color, go back to our design, background, and we'd enter that code there. So all the background now is consistent with this cover color. And we can always bring back the template if we wanted to, so we can actually see where everything is. And then once we've designed our back cover, because the template, our cover calculator template, had our little ISBN number there. So if we went back, you can actually see the barcode there. So if we go forward, actually what we will do, we will bring this forward, we'll detach from the background, because we know sort of what that looks like now. We go to our background, and we are going to have that color. And if we wanted to, we can bring this back into place again, so we actually know where everything is. And once we've actually got our design, we need to then save it as a PDF. We center it, middle it, put it there. If you need to, add your back cover. and we can just send to the back, send backwards. And what we would then do, if you want to replicate, we could go File, we could make a copy, and we've got the same dimensions. You just might want to reduce elements like this to make your back cover as well. You can get rid of things, you can change things up. You might want to get rid of the tent, for example, and just have the trees. You might want to reduce the tree size. You could do whatever you want to have it as your new cover, or your new back cover as your design as well. So what I'll do is go back here. We're going to show, so once you have your back cover, then you go download, you change it to a PDF here, and then you would download. Make sure you get rid of that back template though, because you don't want that back template on there. And that is how you can look at using Canva to design your covers. Just use the templates. You can use elements which are available to be used, so you can use all different shapes. There's all different font types. If you did want fonts, you can either use ones they've selected there. You can just add a heading, for example, and then you click on this button here and you can see all the different ones. And you can also upload a font if you can get one that's for commercial use. You can also use those different font types as well. So I hope that has helped you in regards to creating your covers. What I'll quickly do is add a back cover here. I will show you the final thing, I'll save it, and then that will be the tutorial completed. Okay, so what I've quickly done is created the back cover. I've got some writing here, you might like some dot points, and I've also just gone back and added a little bit more color and made the title bigger so that you can actually see it, particularly if it's a small thumbnail. And I might even look at increasing this as well, so make it a little bit bigger. We want to use up as much space as we can when we're creating these, when we're creating our covers, because remember, the customer is only going to be looking at that small thumbnail when they're looking on platforms to look at your book, for example, KDP or Amazon. So we just want to make sure that we've got everything aligned, and then it should be ready to go. So we just want to do this, just fix these up and making sure they're even. I'll quickly just fix it up now. And now what I've done is just uploaded the new covers. So I'm going to get those in position, just like this. And we can also use the template if we wanted to, just to make sure we've got everything in place. So we get our cover again. It's probably not the most efficient way of doing it, but it works for me. Then go position, center, middle. Then what we do is stretch this out and make sure that everything is in it. So we do that. Then we go transparency, and everything seems to be fitting in perfectly. So what we're looking for is, with this pink line that runs around, there's no writing that is in the in that section, as in the headings, and also the barcode is free. So we can actually get rid of that now. The last thing I did was I increased the sizes of these sections here, and I made sure that was a bit bigger. I've got my back page now. Now what I would do is just go the Camping Explorer. Remember, this is just a pretend book, so I haven't done any trademark checks on regards to the naming of this book, so it's just for illustration purposes only. And then I would download as a PDF, download that, and then that will be the cover that we can upload to KDP. Now you can also ensure, if you want this to be consistent as well, you could always add another line along the bottom here. So if you wanted to keep that color brown running along, so what we would do is just bring that like that, and then you can actually have that so it joins up. So there might be just a small adjustment that you need to make, just to make sure that that's all fine. If you wanted to zoom it up, just to make sure, then you can do that as well. Or you could bring it all the way to the end, like this, then drag it across. And we know it's the same color, so it blends in as well. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Just make sure it all aligns where you need it to be aligned. So that's the cover creator. Hopefully that helps you in regards to the design elements of creating a cover, making sure the titles are big, make sure the colors are bright, that it stands out, that you've got the title and the subtitle as well, and you might like to have your name as an author on here as well, and just make sure you download and save it as a PDF. So there we have it. Hopefully that's been really helpful for you. So there you have a way to be able to use the different templates built into Canva to create your front and back covers. So if you do like this video, make sure you give me the thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell. But also remember, if you are keen on the Publishing Accelerator Low and No Content Publishing course, to check out the links below, and you can actually learn everything you do need to know about publishing with KDP and abroad. So until my next video, I do look forward to seeing you then.